Stop laughing.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the highly intoxicated, I mean anticipated podcast with none only than my stupid looking face with sunglasses and a stupid Marvel hat. PhD Snipes, Dr. Hilarious PhD, them wonderful names, Curtis. And then I also am joined by a couple of my friends tonight. From the last podcast, you should remember Laney and Jack. Go ahead and say hi, Jack, Laney.
Hey guys.
Hi.
But we also added a new wonderful friend today. And the reason I call him wonderful is because I know he's going to be in depth in these conversations because this man is feeling it. Like, we started getting him to talk, and he really just wanted to let this whole thing out. My big thing that I wanted to make sure is we make this man feel welcome. So everybody, and just for fun, I'm going to put in some clapping in the background of this just for when I put it up. If I didn't, I was lazy for that one. But in general, my man, welcome Nick to the wonderful podcast. How's it going, Nick?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Glad to have you. So I want to dive in right away. You know, just I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it when it comes to this whole conversation. And I look at the camera because I'm feeling it. Yep. All right. Cool. Yeah, you understand exactly why, and we're all on the same page. So, first topic I have on the list today is staking. Now, staking, as if anyone doesn't know, is a form of gambling in RuneScape. It's the more, what would you say, mainstream form of gambling instead of like offside, like gambling sites and selling gold. But essentially, if you win enough of this stuff in the gambling, you usually will have different chances of fighting this person. Essentially, it's a scamming gamble pay for gold market. That's essentially ripping the game apart piece by piece. You know, you have these gold farmers that are gambling money, they're winning a bunch, they're selling it off for thousands of dollars. They can buy servers, bot farms, and just repeat the process. And we're forgetting that. But I want to dive in deep with everyone's thoughts on kind of what staking means. Like that was a little bit of mine, but also like those little pieces have to kind of be explained to a lot of the outside world, I think. If we don't explain that, it like people can take this money in RuneScape and actually sell it. Like, what is it, like $1 per mil or something, or $1.25 for a mil right now or something? Now that's legitimately a price that you can pay for a currency in an online game. So I think we could explore that too. But I'm gonna swing it over to Jack. Jack, what would you say in staking is the biggest problem, but also, do you have a solution for that problem? Okay, everybody else be thinking. I want everybody to think of what the biggest problem that you want to fix that you could fix.
I mean, I never staked. I don't stake. I kind of don't like people that stake for their money because I make a lot of my money through PVM, and I feel like it's a very quick way to make a lot of money. But I mean, I respect the fact that there's a lot of risk involved. You know, like there's a huge risk of losing money associated with making that money. So yeah, you could win a Tebow in an hour, or you could lose everything. You know, I think
in a minute you could lose everything.
I think the biggest issue with it is I see how like addicting of a lifestyle it's become for some people. I know my friend Cody, all he does is he hops online to stake. You know what I mean?
Kind of like a slot machine or like a
he has an account, separate account strictly for staking, and he actually makes. I mean, I'm kind of proud of him because like it's not like he uses his means
to provide in the game.
Yeah, like he doesn't keep the money. He actually sells it for real world money, and he makes a couple $100 extra a week. And I mean, like, I kind of respect that, you know?
I mean, well, he's probably got odd staking, essentially, something like that.
He's got really good.
He probably.
I mean, I'm not like his ratio of wins to losses or whatever is pretty kind of absurd.
I think like people are getting into the more context of the game. Think about it. Like that's probably actually what's been happening. Like, if you any of you guys watch Settled on YouTube, the Iron Man?
Yeah.
That is okay. So you've seen it, right, Jack? Nick, have you seen it? Have you seen his Iron Man, his Ultimate Iron Man in Mauritania only?
Swampletics.
Honestly, I can't say I have.
Dude, I'm not joking when I say that his quality that he puts stuff together. Like when I think about the personalities and stuff in the game and like the duel arena, he is the complete polar opposite. Like this guy is just there for the happiness of the game. Like he killed 18 10,000 feral vampires over in
Yeah.
Paul Veneto. No, whatever that Vincent town is over there in the bottom right corner of the map.
Oh my God.
He killed them all there trying to get medium clue scrolls or something by the haunted mine. That's where it was, the haunted mine. He was trying to get 4 random drops.
Is he
of
the
clue
same
scrolls.
guy with an Iron Man right now in
Mauritania.
He has an ultimate
No.
Iron Man that's maxed.
there's some guy making videos of an Iron Man in where the elves are.
Was that
Ledia.
That might be Bodhi. I'm not sure.
Tehran one.
Something like that, or Asian Rice Cup. There's a bunch of them. I miss,
Same.
random topic change. Just kind of throwing it out there. Who cannot? I'm gonna bring this to you, Nick. Because did you know a friend from YouTube?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right. So did you hear about how he went down and how everything just kind of disappeared? Like his whole channel just dropped.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that it dropped and everything like that. Honestly, I stopped paying attention to it. But I saw up until like cops got involved, and he got into it with his girlfriend.
It's so fucked up. Like legitimately,
It was
I'm
a shit
still trying to
show.
figure that out. Like how?
It was such a shit show. Why would you stream that?
And not only that, but like how much money had this man made and just turned around? I mean, Eraser Gaming, loot from 10,000. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, all these bullshit videos he would make.
But then it was really crazy the fact that he actually turned around and just kind of threw it in everybody's face. Like, I'm an ex-voice artist, okay? I know how much private servers pay. I know how much gold farmers pay for and you're ready. Like, stuff like that all the time. But it's not worth it because you don't have any credibility. I lost a huge amount of my credibility when people were like, in a land where games, like bullshit that was for a server so long ago, but I just never really realized what I had lost, and it really sucks because he took a shit ton of money, like probably I would say $20,000-$30,000 US dollars for that little commercial he did on this channel. Easily. These places have money coming out of their ears. They're making so much. It's actually ridiculous. But Nick, if you could say one thing he could have done after that to try and make things right, what would it have been?
Wait for
like Eraser
a
Gaming.
friend?
Yeah, like okay, say like he only went as far as like talking about himself screwing up about gambling and actually like came out and said, all right, I messed up, guys. I'm gonna be better. This is my plan. Like, what would you do if he tried to do that? Like, how would you see that?
I mean, everybody makes mistakes, I guess. Like at the same time, though, that should kind of be it. I mean, he's exploiting people, so
totally.
that should be
It
that
would
should
be hard to
that
not
should
give
have
him a
been it
chance
for
to
the guy, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's the hard part. And I think that all turns back around. So like if we're talking about like the problems in RuneScape, right? I'd say that's a fair one. Like the amount of money that people can be paid to say certain things, or JMods getting picked up how many times. You have these JMods
Or being part of the underground gold selling
or
scheme.
being like full like Mod Reach made enough to buy an Audi. Okay, guys, this man has a fucking sports car made from Jagex gold from Elysian Spirit Shield. Is it ironic the car's blue?
It would be just too convenient and easy for them not to,
I mean, the thing is, you put that much real. Okay, that's like saying someone that works at a bank has too much of an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem here. Like you're essentially saying
integrity. It's like an integrity thing.
If you take that job, you are signing a non-verbal, non-written.
I guess, yeah, I take that back.
Because like,
yeah.
I mean, think about. I mean, this is why we have discussions.
I work at a bank, and that's why I'm gonna take that back. Except not anymore. I got a new job, baby.
I
Yeah.
haven't robbed the bank once, but I got a new job, so I can rob the bank.
I got robbed once.
You got robbed once? Oh, that's a story.
Yeah, man.
I'm ready for it. Bring it out.
At gunpoint.
Start from the beginning. I'm ready for it. I'm there, man. All right.
It was a kid, man. It was a young kid. He turned out to be 18. But he came up to me.
And he tried to rob a bank with a gun?
He had a gun like in his pocket, and he gave me a note. And the note wasn't even written by him. It was written by some woman, I could tell. and there was like hearts all over it. It was weird. It was like
Like they were tweaking.
it was like, hey honey, let's keep this have a gun on me, like some shit, let's keep this cool, okay? I'm on your side. It said all this on the note, like, I want you to put 5 to 10,000 in the bag and blah blah blah, like, thanks.
Wow.
I said, thanks honey, XOXO, with a little winky face on it. And so
That's
Wow.
so weird.
Wow.
okay, so I walked to like, we have this decoy money, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's basically
like,
where we go
couches
to
and stuff
take
in that?
real money, but it's not real money.
Yeah.
It's GPS tracked.
Gotcha.
So I picked it up. It's like $400. It doesn't look like anything, and I put an extra like $200 in there. And the guy just takes it, looks at me, like gives me a little smile, and just walks away. And there was clearly only like $700 in the bag. I didn't give him shit.
He's just like, a bag of money. Like, did you do?
I'm assuming this guy got caught.
He got caught and he got community service.
What?
I think he was 17. He was underage.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did the bag have like a dollar sign on it?
Oh my God,
It
Monopoly
was
man,
it was
robbery.
just a see-through bag.
A see-through bag. That's not very hidden. Fucking hell.
So he can see that there's money in it.
I'm glad I could see there was money in it, but also the cops and the cameras do too. That's
Oh, yeah.
wrong, man.
Did
wow.
he show his face?
Was
like
this
for
guy
the
wearing
camera?
anything?
Yeah, he showed his face. He was wearing a hood.
Who
What
the
an
fuck is
idiot.
this kid? What is he, Jason Statham, trying to fucking? What the
No,
fuck?
dude, I think it was like some kind of gang initiation. I don't know, like
Where do you live?
not
Like,
that
where,
there's many gangs
like
where
you don't
I
have
live,
to, you don't
but
have to give us a direct address, but like, what's your city and state? I'm just very curious.
I'm in Canada, bro.
All right, so I'm gonna avoid the entirety of Canada. All right, put that on the list. I want to get fucking robbed by a 17-year-old. Fucking probably get up there.
Apparently Canada's not
Fucking
as
toddler's
nice
gonna
as
break
well.
open a bottle and stab me in the dick. I'd rather fucking
Yeah.
not.
I'm from Ottawa. Everything used to be good and quiet here, but the last like 10 years, shit's been going down, man.
Been going down. So
The city's changed. The world is changing.
the world is fucking changing, and I think that's another thing. What kind of change do we need in old school to make the game better? And I think I want to bring this to Laney first, because Laney, I want to know what you think about the game as far as the boring side of things, because like, as you're an outsider, all things considered,
Yeah.
you're more of an outsider than you are an insider in the group of 2007 old school, the era of which this game is formed. So really, I want to know what you think would make the game more interesting or better. I mean, honestly, what were they so wrong with EOC, or were we just so stuck in our ways that we wanted 07? I mean, that's stuff that I think we could touch on. What do you think?
I mean, like I said before, I really enjoy having like a set list of things to do. Like right now, I found a list of like the most time efficient way to do every single quest. And so like right now I'm working my way through all the quests, and I like that because I like have steps and I know what to do. And it feels more like I feel more accomplished after I finish a quest. So I think maybe, I don't know.
That's cool.
Like,
I mean, to be fair, I
Like if you had a
introduced
guide
her
or
to the
something.
game. She doesn't
Yeah.
know what RuneScape 3 is. I mean, graphically, I think it would be a lot more appealing to her, but I don't even want to date somebody that plays RuneScape
Hear me
3,
out.
you
Hear
know?
me out.
So,
Controversial topic point. I think RuneScape as a whole, I mean, especially old school, could use a touch up. I think that there was an era right before EOC when it still had the old graphics, but you could have shaders, you could have not necessarily a bloom effect, but yeah, a bloom effect on the colors, and it looked great. I mean, it was, you can't say it didn't. It made dungeons look like dungeons. They had actual fucking lighting. It wasn't just a bunch of
Yeah.
torches that had 3 pixels. I
you mean like the HD thing?
yeah,
where
it
they
was
had,
just
like,
HD textures. It was so
Yeah.
cool. It
I
made
think
the
they
game
could
so much more
easily do that.
dimensional. Like, in my opinion, why hasn't that been done? It's not nostalgic? Okay, make it toggleable. I want
Yeah,
more
like
texture.
it should be a graphic setting. It should be something that you're computer has the
Oh, and
capacity.
I know that's a very, very fucking huge undertaking. But like, if you look at most of these, like RuneLite or OS Buddy, they essentially all are trying over time to get it to that point. They're adding smoothing, they're adding GPU usage, they're adding, 10 other different things to make it more appealing. So, do you think if RuneScape, old school RuneScape, how many people would they lose and how many people would they win if they did that graphical change? What do you think, Jack? What do you think about that?
Honestly, I think they would gain a lot more people. I think the game would be a lot more inviting to people like Laney who are brand new to the game and used to playing games that are a little bit more modern and stuff. I mean, she and I played through Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's just an astoundingly beautiful game. And
It is very
it's a lot more appealing when things look a little bit more realistic. Like for somebody that's never seen RuneScape before, you're not going to attract new players when the graphics are based on what the old players remember and are used to
it's a
and
fucking eye gouge
enjoy.
is what it is to a non.
I disagree, actually.
Really,
I
really.
disagree as well, yeah.
Because, like, I've only ever played old school RuneScape, and it's called old school RuneScape for a reason. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't look that great, but it's simple, and I like it.
Yeah.
Like everything, you can very clearly see the grid pattern on like the grass and the lands, and like where to click and stuff. And I think
why
that
I
if
play it.
they changed it, I think if they change it, they'd lose a lot of players like you
For
guys
sure.
who have been playing it since they were kids. It would lose that like nostalgic feeling.
I mean, I don't think they should change it necessarily. I think they should
If they
add an
upgrade
additional
I
feature where
don't think people would be happy.
You think that they would? Okay, now why do you think people wouldn't be happy if it was toggleable? Then again, I mean, we're talking, toggleable. We're basically saying that as a fucking cop out in our opinion. But like, do you really think that people would not tolerate a graphical update to like further make the game not graphically intense? Like, you could still like the medium, high, low settings, obviously. So you
I
have
think
all
people
options.
would tolerate it. I just don't think they'd be that happy about it.
You think it would be more of like a push from Jagex than a push from players?
Yeah.
Because
I think players play old school for a reason.
What do you think, Nick? What's your thoughts on this?
there's some really high level players now, and they're used to doing some pretty high level, like high performing action in RuneScape, like Theater of Blood, solo raids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you change even the way things look, it's gonna screw up their whole like
Process?
everything. Yeah. I think the fluidity would change. I think a lot would change with just graphic changes.
I mean,
So
guess
I
you're
think
right.
it would
That
actually
that could-
upset a lot of people.
That could
and,
hurt
like-
a lot of computers.
And like content creator people,
Yeah. I mean, game ticks and everything. I mean, you're not wrong. I think the problem is that essentially, if there was more done to the game to kind of focus on core issues, I think we could focus on the graphics. The problem is that we never focused on most of these issues as far as game tick problems or potion hiding or skull tricks. We never focus on those problems because they're just part of the core DNA of the game.
People
right?
make YouTube videos on skull tricking.
I
Like,
know,
it's
it's part of-
not
it's part
even
of the thing.
discouraged.
It's It's like hey, we got your ass. Like, what else are they supposed to say in that
I
situation?
find it fucking horrible.
So I mean, like, I just really enjoy that that's a thing. My
I've
biggest,
done it though.
we've all tried to fucking skull trick someone. I'm not gonna act like we haven't. I think Laney might be the only one that hasn't.
she's innocent.
I know what it is. That's a start.
Okay, so is it just me, or does RuneScape really have no middle ground when it comes to PKers anymore? Like,
Oh, there's no.
am I wrong in thinking that it's mainly all from like the Deadman hype? Is it the Deadman hype that really brought people into this like other thought process of playing the game? Like, I'm gonna win $20,000. I'm gonna get so good that I can kill everyone. Like, is that what it is?
No.
What do you think? What do you think, Nick?
No, I don't think so.
You think?
I think it's
there's more
people-
middle ground?
I think most people think they have no chance of winning, but they just play it because their account's maxed and they want a change and they want to play. They want to have some fun PvPing, or make money and swap.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. I like that. What do you think, Jack?
I mean, I've never played Dead Man. I've watched a lot of videos on it, but I think like Nick said, like a lot of people don't think they can actually do it and win. I mean, I'd be interested
You're
in
up
it.
against.
It's it's like a new game mode or something. It's like a new like mini game almost for
Yeah.
high level players that are experienced. It's just saying that something else you can do.
I tried it this season. Like I just tried this season that's going on. I tried it. It was my first time trying it, and
How'd you do?
I did actually really well, bro. I got a VLS on my second
What?
task.
That's awesome.
I sold it for like 40 mil. I swapped it over for 40 mil OSRS. And then I just kept using that 40 mil. So I swapped it over. It was 1 to 35. So 1 mil dead memo was 35 mil old school. And then the rates go down as the game progresses because money loses its value.
Yeah.
So I just kept swapping back. Like I had like this pool of money set up in old school, and I would kept swapping back, but it was at like I was swapping back at like 1 to 17 or like 1 to 15, 1 to 10.
Still pretty damn good.
So the
Yeah,
money.
fucking the merch levels there. The merch.
Oh,
levels.
geez.
Oh man, the money stretched.
Quick question for the chat here and group in general. My thought is on our inner demons as RuneScape players and how they manifest themselves in the game. And I think this is going to be a long topic, so we're just going to stretch on this topic. Feel free to go on tangents on it. Feel free to stretch your vocal options as much as you'd like on these ones here. I think personally there are inner demons in every RuneScape player that manifest themselves in game. Like you have the grinders because like maybe they were never good enough, or they're just, you know, they're really determined. Like they could be both sides of the spectrum. Same thing with like you have these people that are strictly tick based. Like are they OCD? Are they tick based because they're OCD? They want it to be perfect. Like what kind of options are there? And I'm gonna swing that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna swing that to Jack. Nick, it sounds like you got some ideas. I'm gonna swing it to Jack first, and I'm gonna bring
No.
it to you. So I'm gonna start with Jack. All right, what do you think, man? What do you think? Inner demons.
The first thing I thought of here was Laney. Laney sat down in my truck and told me that she thinks I'm autistic because I play this game. You know, and I think
No.
you said that 100%. And and it's funny because like a lot of people do associate and make jokes and memes about RuneScape players having autism, but I think it's just like a form of relaxation where you can do repetitive tasks and
therapeutic.
feel a sense of accomplishment from it. I know personally, like I used to just play for fun. You know, I used to not really care what I was doing, not really think about what I was doing. But now as I'm getting better at the game, I'm starting to see like my potential in this game, and I'm starting to see like I'm being introduced into high level PVM, and I'm realizing there's a lot of improvement I can do. So like all I want to do is keep playing and keep getting better and keep achieving higher levels more efficiently. And I think that just honestly comes with the game itself. You know, as you start playing and you start learning, like you get hooked. I mean, you want to just keep playing and keep getting better. And yeah, I mean, I as much as even Laney says, like she thinks I have autism because I enjoy some of the things in this game that she's brand new to, so she doesn't understand the grind and the grinding aspects and the enjoyment in that grind. But I've definitely learned to love it.
I think that's
I just get bored.
You get bored? Okay, let's expand on that. What do you mean you get bored? What is this part of your personality though, or is this because like maybe
I mean,
you're
probably.
different? So like, tell me why you get bored. Fill me in.
It's just like that's the reason I do quests so much is because like grinding a skill is just like so like boring for me. Like I'll like get like go up 5 levels and like need to take a break because I'm just like so like, oh my god, like I cannot do this anymore. Like it's so boring.
Tediously taxing, would you say?
Yes.
I think that's probably the hardest part. The reason RuneScape never really got above, you know, what certain few million current active rotating player group, you know, their player base never really broke into the level of like Fortnite or I mean PUBG, Titanfall, Call of Duty.
It's not an immediately rewarding game, and I think people punish it for that.
And that's the thing. We live in such a now society. I think that's where like you see many people will play like Candy Crush or those little clicker games. Those clicker games are super addictive because they have different tiered but almost same time but a little bit different to keep the chemicals in your brain flowing to where you actually get levels of dopamine throughout the entirety of it. That's actually why they work. So like the Cookie Clicker, when that came out, that was one of the first games that made people go, oh my fucking God, on like a large scale. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong that Cookie Clicker wasn't like the first game where it passed it around school and people were playing it on everything and trying to leave windows open to make this thing fucking get to the next level. Like, that was the thing that happened in mine, at least. And I still laugh for the fact that we all sit here and laugh about it in general. But I mean, it's true. It's an addictive personality thing. And
I think you have to be able to laugh about it, though.
yeah, and that's the thing.
As a
Like,
player.
you have to be like, the game's grindy. Okay, thanks, Mom. I
Yeah,
appreciate you for
like
asking.
you have to realize only crazy people are like actually down for the shit.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking insane.
No.
Welcome to the neighborhood. We are in the Cuckoo Club right now. We are not with
Yeah.
We're in the
I don't know. I was gonna say Cuckoo Club, but it sounded too much like Ku Klux Klan. So
yeah.
you know when you try to say a really nice
Hard
sentence
swerve.
and everything just is like, "Hey, your brain's fucked up and your mouth don't work right," and it's just so everything just. Hey, I gotta
Hey,
talk
let's
really
say something
formally
nice
over and
then.
over. I gotta talk formally over and over in front of you guys. So I want to hear your bullshit right now. Okay, I don't want to hear your bullshit. Fucking enough from the peanut gallery. As far as what do you think sparked or continues to spark our connection to this game to be able to play it for just hours at a time? You know, is it because it's an MMO and, you know, and you can go into this roleplay game and relax and feel like you're in a different area than you are in real life? Yeah, for me as a stoner, that works really well for me because when I am busily baked, I can challenge and, you know, go into this fucking world of Gillinor. Be a fucking badass, but other than that, no, not a lot happens. So, I mean, what is your thought, Nick, on this? What do you think?
There's a lot that I like about this game,
Tell
but
me,
mostly
just
because
tell
I've
me,
been playing
tell
it for.
Just tell me what you like about the game. Because this is a person that plays the game, so, like, let's do a stark
Oh,
contrast
man.
from Laney.
I've been playing the game for 10 years, though.
Okay, all right. Tell me about your earliest experience with it.
I mean, I remember a little bit. I was young, but I remember a little bit. I remember like grinding KBD for Visage with like shitty bolts and all that stuff. And
When you were a kid, you were doing that?
yeah, I was
Probably-
basically,
probably
I
one of those
just
maxed
wasn't leaving
players, aren't
KBD.
you? No. So it's just like you're probably one of those maxed players, aren't you?
What?
Yeah, but also like I was addicted to mining. I remember
Wow,
when I was a
that's
kid.
beautiful.
I was addicted to getting up to into the mining guild. You know,
Oh,
you level
Dude,
60.
I was though too. Like no shit,
That was
no
cool.
joke. I was like,
The
I
mining
have to
guild
get
was
into
the
this
shit.
club.
I was
Okay.
like, I have to get in there. Look at all the gold.
I was like, there's so many rocks. Like, I was like, wait.
Legit. That's straight up.
Oh God.
That's probably my biggest like
That's your
memory is
biggest memory?
grinding.
Dude,
the
all right.
mining guild.
I'm about to take you guys on a nostalgia trip. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready.
Okay, so I was in, I think, 3rd or 4th grade with my best friend at the time, Cole Pelger. Shouts Cole Pelger. Probably doesn't watch this. But I was laughing at the time because he said, make a screen name. And I was like, okay. And I put my fucking first and last name and I was like, pow! Ready to rock. Like, no idea of how to actually make a screen name. It was like, you know, it was like Soldier Slayer 69. He was like King Cobra 88. Like, I don't know what the 88 was for, but I think it was because his dad was an Air Force pilot for the King Cobra. It's fucking weird. But we did this for like about 2 years. We played the game back and forth. But I was the best memory is trying to make armor from scratch and being able to like text your friends or email and be like, I'm gonna make you steel. Like, you know, I was like, it was like you were the pimp daddy for the fucking crew. Being able to make people armor, you're like, I'm gonna explore. These motherfuckers don't even know. Like, I was in 4th grade feeling like I was, you know, DMX running around like a fucking maniac. I was like, dude, I got the booklet. Did you get the booklet? I made like a binder, like a legit binder I was planning like a plan of RuneScape. Like I was cutting out how to do shit, where to do shit, and then after all this fucking planning, I ended up dying on a PvP world because I was like, I'm gonna fuck someone up with this dragon two-handed sword, and I didn't know how PvP worked. I was very concerned that I was good enough, and well, I died and I lost everything. So it was a great memory. It was a triumph, but definitely not a success in my mind. But what about you, Jack? What do you got?
I mean, you bringing up nostalgia made me just think about all the days back in middle school where only the cool kids played RuneScape. You know, like I was the coolest kid in my grade because I had done Monkey Madness, and nobody in my fucking 6th grade class knew how to do that. You know, like I felt like the most badass person, but honestly, I was just doing aimless stuff like pest control. Like I thought pest control was like so cool, and I thought Barbarian Assault was so cool. I was like really into mini games, but I don't ever remember using the minigame reward points for actual gear that I use now and I appreciate now, like on a higher level. But back in the day, that's what I did. You know, I either did that or I was sitting over in the Sears Village chopping yews. You know, like there's just so much nostalgia flowing right now. Like
Dude.
that just sparks so many good memories.
I was an accidental Iron Man at one point. Like I was fucking mining shit and preparing for like war. Like I would go and pick flax for bowstring and shit. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just fucking. Do you guys remember the first time you walked through Taverley? Like the gate, the one that hides it. Like you need to be a member to go to this area. Like you know that side of the side of the fucking.
The one south of Valkyrie.
Yeah, the one you just like. It's like you cannot go any further. It's like what, but I wanna. I can see it. I wanna touch it. I can see it. I wanna touch it.
There's so much over there.
And I was so upset.
On the map and everything you're missing.
Remember the first time you got members and you were like, you burst through that thing like a fucking first fucking virgin popping the cherry at a prom. You were like,
that big wolf, that level 73 big wolf on White Wolf Mountain was about to fucking.
It was interesting, but like first time you became a member, I'm gonna swing this to Laney because hers experience is probably way different than ours.
Yeah, you know, I have a boyfriend in the whole world who automatically bought me membership right after I started playing so I could do the member quest. So I've been a member pretty much all the time.
I love the way like he's dying in the background because he knows the answer, so he's like trying to like not self implode. He's just all I hear is like like just in the back. It's
like the fact that we all
like
waited.
A sad Casper's ghost in the background just giggling.
We had to play for like years before we got members.
Oh
and
no! I milked my mom for that. I 110%. Like after like 3 months, I was like, I need it. Like I was. It was like fucking crack. It was literally like fucking crack. But so you pretty much had it ever since the beginning then, Laney.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, what about you? I suspect you obviously were better at the game than Jack and I were.
I was free to play for a long time, man.
Oh my god, when did you switch? When did you make the switch?
I made the switch when I picked the game back up like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So back when kind of old school released again?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I recovered my old account and yeah, man. Went straight to
Alcarid
members.
Straight to Alcarid.
Yes,
you must go down and use to go to the sand casino. This fucking game.
Well,
that
no, I stayed away.
What'd you do as soon as you did it though?
I first I did a lot of like combat and Slayer, and some skilling and stuff like that, and some PVM.
Okay, that brings up a good point though. First 99s, anybody? First 99s?
I think it was.
I mean, yeah, I back on right before RuneScape 2 became RuneScape 3, I had, I think fishing was my first, and then I got mining and woodcutting because I just had this really, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just decided like if I have one skilling 99, like I need the others. Like I legitimately cannot do anything else in the game besides mining and wood cutting if I have fishing. You know, like it.
Yeah.
Those are my first three 99s I ever got, and that was like high school. It took me years to even get close.
Jesus. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. That would be a lot to process, I think. In my opinion. Like, I just have
It
never.
was
I've
awful.
never.
I mean, honestly, it was awful. But
That's-
once I had it, I felt like the biggest badass. Like, yeah, here's my mining cape, my woodcutting cape, and my
Oh.
fishing cape.
You
See ya.
literally just walked by like at the lunch table with like 3 capes. They see me rolling, like just like motherfucker over here, thug life in before thug life
Yeah.
was thug life. Go ahead, Nick. What were you talking about?
What was I talking about?
I don't know. You made some noises. It sounded like you're gonna talk about.
He's out of it, man.
Nick is also highly highly anticipated emotionally right now.
Yes.
But
Very invested into this.
very invested into this. That's
That's
good.
why I really want to think about my answer. That's
All
why.
right, you go ahead and think about your answer. I'm gonna switch one around on Laney. Laney, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so this is gonna be a Laney only question. Then I'm gonna do a Jack only question. This is not about you guys' relationship or anything.
Thank God.
If you could do one thing in RuneScape that you know your significant other would hate, in real life, what would it be? Like, is it an emote, or would it be like killing a dragon? Would it just be like fucking bank standing?
I don't know if Jack would hate it, but I think he would get pretty annoyed if I killed Jad the first time I was there, because he took me to, I don't know, like the first dragon or whatever, and I like killed it. Like I beat his record for like how easily I killed it. So I think he'd get pretty frustrated if I just like did Jad no problem.
I
I'm just so
110%.
proud of you.
I-
Are you kidding? I have to add to that. Okay, like that makes me sound like a horrible person. I was so proud of you when I knew you were doing Dragon Slayer, and I thought it would take you like a month. And literally, I'm like, "Hey, remember to bring your poison dagger to make Elvarg a lot easier." And you're like, "Oh, I already killed it." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, you must have used all your food." And you're like, "No, I used like 2 food." And I was like, "What?"
She's
She did it at
evolving.
38. She did it at 38 combat.
What
Like
the
I was
fuck?
so impressed.
38
so
combat.
impressed.
I mean, to be fair,
There's
like
a
that,
PVMer in you yet.
this motherfucker
Yeah, and
is over
she's
here trying to
gotten
fucking
2
be Wooks
champion
over here.
scrolls in a day. 2 champion scrolls in a day.
Oh god, the mugger's gonna murder me. Sorry, I'm playing on my hardcore at the same time, and I'm also very highly intoxicated. Sorry.
It's constipated.
Intoxicated. I just start mixing words together. Okay, Jack, question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could bring one thing from real life, anything, and put it into RuneScape as an item, what would it be and what price would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
This is why these
Could it be-
podcasts
this just be like
exist.
goopy ass
Spin
answer.
the wheels turning.
Oh, dude, I'm. Go on, Jack.
What if you could have a tractor in this game?
Oh my god.
Bro, what
And
if
you could
I'm already there. I'm
Hear me
already
out.
there, man. I'm already there. I'm
Hear me
hearing you
out.
out. I'm hearing you out. I'm hearing you out.
hear me out on this. I think it would be so cool to have some kind of combination between Farm Simulator and RuneScape. And I honestly think that the gameplay between Farming Simulator and RuneScape are kind of similar in
Oh
the
my
fact
God.
that like things take a while. And
Oh
you
my
know what?
God.
Having a little bit of a tractor and some like new area to farming because
Just
I
to like
enjoy farming.
cultivate your crops.
Yeah, like you get to like plow fields with like a little teeny tractor.
Oh
Like
my
not
God.
a big,
kinda cool.
RuneScape Cottage Edition.
like a mini game, like a farming mini game where you get to like drive a tractor around. Like clearly not
Wait,
like a giant
okay, hear me out.
modern John
Here's
Deere,
a reward.
but like
Here's a reward from that minigame. What if you got a tool that was a multi-tool for farming?
that'd be cool.
Huh? I mean, think
I
about
wouldn't
it.
forget my rake
Because
anymore.
what if you could have one tool that you could combine your magical secateurs in? You can do everything else from a spade, you know, a rake,
Get a
a
spork,
trowel.
like a spade and a rake.
But it
Combined.
it pretty much auto does whatever it needs to do. Like if it says rake or spade or you know do whatever it needs to do, it does it. In that way, you'd be able to use it for literally everything. I think that would be really cool because to be honest, that market is not fluctuated by those items. I think it'd be a good rare item to add in the game. I think I would charge $3 mil for it. What do you think? 3 mil. Nick, is 3 mil too high of a price for that one? What do you think?
3 mil?
3 mil for that unified tool. Like you get it from the minigame as a random drop, just like say the scepter from the mummy. But it has to be charged.
That'd be cool.
It has to be charged by using like some scales you get from a new boss we brought in. Like essentially it's like super cheap. Like each scale is like 6 each.
That'd be cool. That'd be useful.
Man, I should work for
I mean,
fucking
they already
Dragons.
have like a bottomless compost bucket and a Brickler's can or whatever that has like 200 water in it. So I mean, like, it
Why
would
don't we
be
just add
nice
the
to have a
tool in?
tool that could be combined also. I think
it
that's pretty fair.
It could be a worm that you could fight underground, and what it drops is like a shard. No, hear me out. It could be something
Like
that's
the
underground.
mole.
No, hear me out. I'm telling you, I'm on a tangent, but it's good, man. It's good. So imagine it's an underground boss that's made up of like shards of rock. It could be the new like skilling boss. So it can drop certain pieces and shards that go to certain tools. Each tool can work for a different skill or a different manner of the skill. So like the farming one is like a shard of like really ancient dirt that you would use to like upgrade it, or like shards of like fossils from like an ancient age that would charge it up. And they could be ancient tools charged by like a fossil or a fossil of a fish, or like that could be something. I don't know. I think I'm thinking something, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody?
You're on to something for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, something and a half. Oh my god.
Yeah, man, for sure. When you say worm and stuff like that, man, it makes me think of this idea I was like talking about with a buddy of mine like a couple of years ago.
What was it?
It was you know the wildy worm?
Yeah,
Did
the
you guys
one
ever
in
play OS3?
yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's basically something like that, but for OSRS.
I just think the animation would fuck up so bad that they couldn't do it. Like they just
maybe
there isn't enough animation. I mean, I think
not necessarily the same thing, but like
No.
maybe like something that flies around and you just see the shadow
and then it
when
lands.
you're walking around, and if it hovers around you, it comes
So
down.
kind of like a
lands,
constant
and, like, attacks you.
shaman shadow on the ground.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it just hovers around anywhere in the wilderness though.
Remember Jack
And
going into space?
not all the time, only on like some worlds at a time. And when it spawns or when it lands or some shit to attack somebody, it alerts like
Nearby
the world
players
in
They're
your
like,
chat box.
It's like, hey, well, ooh, that's a controversial topic right there in and of itself. Yeah, oof, you didn't realize you were going to stumble into that one, did you? Chat box notifications. As a group, where do we stand at this? Jack, what do you think? Chat box notifications, toggleable, not toggleable? Maybe there's too many of them. I know that was.
I don't really pay attention to the chat box as much as I should, so like it doesn't bother me. I usually only see the ones when I log in. I mean, I get notified by my idle notifier on RuneLight more than chat box notifications, you know. So like I see their use. Like I just don't pay attention enough to the chat box for it to actually matter. You know, I don't mind them. I think they're useful. Like I just got my first pets in the game, and the first one was a beaver, and I was woodcutting at the farming guild trying to chop down a tree to plant another one, and I got a beaver pet, but I didn't even realize it, and I had to check the chat box, and it was kind of cool because then I could take a picture of the chat box, be like, yes, this is actually like my drop, you know, here's my name, here's where it says I have something following me, so like I actually kind of like it, you know.
Yeah, that's another thing. Real quick, I'm an idiot. I have been pickpocketing ham members this entire time we've been doing podcast.
Gotta love it. That's nostalgia in of itself.
Right? At the hardcore Iron Man, we're working on it. But I've been pickpocketing ham members, and I almost keep clicking on myself because I'm wearing a ham outfit. And I wanted to bring that up for you guys just to laugh at. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes to talk on your own. I'm gonna go run to the restroom real quick. If you guys want to talk about some stuff, what I want to talk about when we get back, if you guys want to think up some really good stories for this, because what we're gonna end on. It's gonna take about a 15-minute thing. We're gonna hit it together. I want to talk about how you feel about RuneScape music and intertwining it with other RuneScape music options or the copyright laws behind it. Kind of look into your mind as to what you think about RuneScape music and where it can go. Okay?
I fucking love
Okay.
RuneScape music.
I will be right
Think
back,
about it.
guys.
I gotta piss. Thank God he has to.
Okay.
It's so fun. Come on, dude. This is like kind of cool. Like it's just something to do while you're playing. Like it's more thoughtful conversation than I normally have.
You're so cute.
What's your name again? Sorry.
Laney.
Hey. Oh my God. I need to go to bed.
Oh, thank God he had to go to the bathroom because I had to pee so bad.
I've gone like twice during this.
I honestly like that a lot of these questions can be like spun in a way that you can answer, Laney, because you've played a little bit, but not a lot. But like a lot of the questions about how could we improve the game, like Nick and I can talk to the level of like people that have been playing for 10 plus years. You know, like we can say like, well, this is where I think we should go from here. But you can really give an opinion for people that are just new and seeing the game for the first time. You know, like your opinion of the game is a lot different from ours.
Mm-hmm.
I like really appreciate the fact that he asked that.
All right, welcome back to the hizzity hop. Don't stop, can't stop the boogie with the bing bang. No, I don't know the words. Okay, so when I left, what did you guys come up with? I'm gonna start with Nick on this one. Nick, are you okay with that? Can I start with you on this?
So it was about music and seeing how
Where
we
you want
can
to take it directionally, you could take it, or implementing music stylings into the game, or maybe even switching Spotify to it. You know, lots of options.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time I play with Spotify on.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah.
Also, the
Like-
RuneScape album is on Spotify. Just everybody, RuneScape albums is on Spotify.
Actually,
Yeah, there's
That's
the
awesome.
there's the old school one and the orchestral. In fact, I will play the orchestra right now. And it's off. All right, perfect. Copyright? No. But what I would say is I do like a good sound, but like, what do you listen to when you like? What type of music do you listen to, Nick?
I listen to a lot of rap. I listen to some I don't know what you call it, but it's like kind of like, I guess not really EDM, but like
Hardstyle? Dubstep?
lately I've been listening to Flume. I don't know if you guys heard of him. It's
No.
Someone will have heard of him.
it's a producer. Bunch of I listen to anything and everything, to be honest with you.
My guy, I like
Except
that.
for
I like
country.
that. Yeah, I'm not a big country person either, but I got no horses in the back. That's probably my only song
yeah.
that I really can get down with.
Can't do it.
He said can't do it. Cannot.
I
okay.
like country.
Well, go away. No one fucking cares, Jack. Jack, speaking of which, musically, if you wanted to interpret something or change something in the RuneScape fashion of music, what do you think you would honestly do?
I mean, I like the fact that there is RuneScape music that's true to the original. You know, like so some days I'll turn it on when I'm like not on mic with people and stuff, and I'll listen to it. If I'm like in
81
an
wood
area,
cutting. Sorry, how does it? 81 wood cutting. Sorry, go ahead.
rats, man.
Rats.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But like, you know what I mean? Like if you're doing something that you used to do as a kid. Like if I was woodcutting in Catherby or something, just for fun, because I'm waiting for herbs to grow or whatever. I might throw on the game music just to hear the same songs I heard 10 years ago as a kid, like take me back a little bit. But most of the time I play with my music off, and I think RuneLight's been coming out with a lot of great plugins. I feel like a Spotify plugin that could connect to your Spotify would be amazing. I know Discord offers really great things where everyone in a Discord call could be listening to the same music and contribute to the playlist and skip songs and whatever. I think that's really great, and I think the direction of RuneScape music is more like community based music where people are listening together on Discord, or playing solo and listening to their own stuff. I don't really think it I don't think anybody really listens to the RuneScape music completely
A lot
anymore,
of
you know.
YouTubers are switching to it. I know myself. I was looking at just putting RuneScape music in the background of this. Funny if it is already right now. No. But I honestly thought about it because RuneScape doesn't really do DMCA takedown claims on people's videos, unless it's like their original audio from their stream or something. That's different if someone's
Yeah.
reproducing it. But usually they don't care. They're pretty lenient. So I mean, I think that's where like a lot of people would still listen to it and or use it on streams. Real quick, pause. How do you guys feel about streams? Honestly, like streaming is taking a multitude of fucking forms every day of the week. I mean, it has gone anywhere from it went from girls having their tits out to girls not being able to really put their tits in a certain place, to having like dudes that were just getting in fights with each other on the internet over bullshit, people getting banned. You have all these people that are just really running around acting like they know what's going on, when in reality they're just they honestly sound like a bunch of children. And I want to stream just to be like, I'm probably going to stream after we get done with this podcast, but like, in general, I like streaming because I want to have that conversation like we're having today. Like I want to have that conversation. A lot of people stray away from it or shy away from having a real in-depth conversation. I find that when you have those conversations, it makes it a lot more broad. But most streams are just fucking filler anymore. I mean, I'm playing a hardcore Iron Man, so I guess I'll get like 3 viewers for that. But really, I want to have a chat that I can have this conversation with over and on. Even if I'm a viewer, I want to be engaged with that streamer. I'm not here to just watch you play a game. Very few people I will do that for. But if I'm just watching a stream because I'm playing and I don't want to stream or record anything, then I should be able to get from that streamer what I think they're supposed to be giving me. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you want from a streamer? Jack, let's start with you.
I mean, I don't really watch streams. I get that question a lot. Like, I get really impressed with people that I see are very good at this game, and people say like, "Haven't you ever watched this person's stream?" There's tons of people that play like this, but I think that there's a sort of big disconnect between streamers and the community in general. Like, a lot of the people, they'll interact on the stream, but like they're not people that would play the game with you, that you would be friends with. Like the only time I've ever honestly watched a stream was when I knew Wooks was going for God, what even? Oh, the first Inferno cape.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I stayed up really late at night watching him attempt this because I thought it was cool. Like he's literally the best PVMer in RuneScape.
Yeah,
and I wanted to see somebody accomplish something for the first time. I think that's like really exciting for the game and everything. But like, besides that, I don't know if streamers really contribute all too much because yeah, they can interact with the chat, but like, I don't really get anything out of watching somebody else play a game unless it's something like a big accomplishment like what Wooks did.
Yeah. Would you hear me out now? As that being a topic point, like let's hear from Laney. Like Laney's gonna be devil's advocate. I want you to fight that battle, Laney, with why you like streamers.
I think streaming is cool. anyone can like get on and like play with people and talk to people and connect to people. But there have been like multiple instances where me and Jack will like make fun of the girl on Twitch that like does squat. Like
Listen, we all know the people. We all know the people. Okay, don't call no names out here. We don't need no fire being thrown around. But I mean, I'm just saying, like Alicia. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. It just had to be said. Like we've seen it. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
So like me and Jack have made fun of the squat girl on like many occasions because like that's all it is like a girl doing squats for like horny old men. Like,
why can't I squat for horny old women? This is bullshit. Someone fucking bring me a
want.
bouncing ball now.
You can if you want, and that's the beauty of streaming. Like anyone can do literally anything they want, and anyone can watch, and like that's pretty cool.
You're not wrong. That is actually probably the coolest part about it. I think the hardest part with streaming these days, from the streamer side of things, not the viewer, it's got to be the amount of saturation in the market. What Nick? Do you think that's probably a huge issue for people? Like, there's obviously a lot of talented people out there. There obviously is. There's a lot of really great people that are obviously different than our average game player, and they might be interesting to watch. But it's so saturated. Sure. There's so many little kid streamers. Yeah. There's so many adults that honestly are just boring to watch and are usually creepy. But there is those handful of people that you stumble across that are just super chill. They vibe with your vibe, and you have this great experience. Like, what do you think really bridges that gap? Like, what would make you have a better experience, Nick, with a streamer? Like, what specific things?
I think being close to the streamer in some way, like knowing them personally or like following them from when they start, and just following their progression, being one of their first subscribers, something like that. I've never done that, but I know that a lot of people are actually really close with like their streamers, their favorite streamers. Mm-hmm. That's one thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
the hardest part there is like being so close. Like, if you got, say you had, a stream with, say, Bodhi levels, like 8K viewers, right?
That's the thing. Yeah.
It'd be really hard. I mean, I've run a YouTube channel before and done videos to where it was a little bit busier, and I try to respond to every comment, and I could do it because I didn't get to that point to where it was too much. And I like the feedback and the attention. But I think a lot of YouTubers are growing in the wrong direction as far as like the difference between notoriety and narcissism. Like, that's the biggest issue. Everyone wants to be the next big person on Twitch or the next big person on YouTube. So everyone's coming up with 12,000. I mean, the idea for me to get intoxicated and talk is essentially one of these ideas. But it works so well because this is how honest I get. This is what brings out my honest flow. And I know that if you guys were drunk, if you guys were in any other way intoxicated, you would probably have those same reactions. And I feel like that is what makes these podcasts so open and flow so well. But what I am going to say here, we're going to close out with final thoughts here because this has been an awesome podcast. I mean, we've been talking for about an hour now. I'm going to let these beautiful people go home here and just relax and not worry about anything else the rest of the night. Probably going to get a live stream going or something, but we're going to get them back out of here. So let's kind of round it up. We talked a lot, Jack, we talked a lot about, wilderness changes, what we can do, bosses, where we need to put them, maybe landscape style changes. We talked about the wonderful graphic details, all about graphic details, and how there was not really a middle ground for PKers. We kind of touched on that, but the graphics, I think, were a big point. And also talking about why we play RuneScape. I think that was huge, bring up why we played RuneScape, and I that was my favorite point. What was your favorite point, Jack, really, tonight?
I think it's just good to get new perspectives because I don't PvP much, so it's good to hear from Nick about PvP, and I'm not a new player, so it's good to get outside perspectives from people that are new to the game, like Laney. Like, she's brand new to RuneScape. This is her first couple months playing and her first time experiencing this game that we've all been playing for a long time. So it's just always nice to get a different point of view on these topics.
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part there is like being so close. Like, if you got, say you had, a stream with, say, Bodhi levels, like 8K viewers, Yeah, it was great to really kind of see both sides of the sword, the blade, and really what we were looking for. What about you, Nick? Anything you had specific? Any final thoughts?
No, I mean, yeah, no, it was great. It was fun just chatting about RuneScape for a little bit.
Yeah, I told you it'd be a little weird. It's what I would call a fun experience to perfect. You can't perfect it. I tell people get messed up, get on a camera, get on a mic, and just sit there and have a good time.
It's easy to just go on a rant.
Yeah, it feels good though. Like
Sometimes.
I don't stop the rants. I kind of just push them out. That's the point. If you push out your rant, you let it go. It feels good. You let off some stress. Laney, bring us home. Any final thoughts on the beautiful amazingness of the awesomeness of the intelligence that we went through? Anything?
I loved hearing, because I am so new, about like you guys playing as kids. Like, I almost like wish I had that experience because it just seems like so wholesome and like nice.
Totally before any of the era
Good
of like
memories.
Snapchat filters and bullshit every 5 fucking seconds going off on our phones. I mean, I to think about it, I can't imagine that I had enough concentration back in the day without all these distractions. I might imagine how much we've gone there, but that is the topic for the next one. We're going to put that there and put a pin in it. And I want to thank everybody for coming out, especially. I know you guys didn't have to stay here with me for an hour. I'm pretty much a torturing person. Laney, Nick, Jack, and myself. What a great day we've had. I'm going to send you guys out, and I will see you next time on Highly Anticipated. See you guys on the next one. That was good. I like that. That was good. Solid recording.